Well, welcome. You got Frankenfoot here. Now, normally, I'm posting Clash of Clans war videos because that's what I do. And in Dagobah, my clan, we were pretty much always at war. We were constantly at war. But this new update hit, so we said, well, let's take a break from war. We'll mess with the update. We'll throw our heroes down. So I've got my Archer Queen down. A lot of other people have their heroes down. We're just playing with the war base. So, not the war base. This is the builder's base. So, after all my toiling and troubling, I have decided that at least at town or Builder's Hall, oh, that's going to be tough. At Builder Hall level 3, the best army that I can think of is the 2 giants, and then however many army camp you have left worth of archers. Whatever you want to call that combination, G-Arch, Jarch, Arch Giant, whatever. I've had the most success for that. As you can see, I had a nice string of victories here. And every time that I've had a defeat, I've lost to Giants and Archers. So, how on earth does that work? Well, there's a couple of things that are just different. This is not a good attack, but we'll go ahead and start there. A couple things that are just different about frickin' the Builder's world rather than normal Clash of Clans. First off, your armies are really small. And so you've got to make every troop count. The second thing is that the bases are really small too. So if you can knock off just one building, it's usually a pretty good deal. And so what I've had the most success with is sort of doing like you see here. First, we sort of just start picking off the outermost buildings. We'll look at the range of that guy. We start picking off the outermost buildings with archers. And then once we've got everything we think we can reasonably get, then it's time to make a push for the town hall. It didn't work very well here. Unfortunately, this guy had more trouble than I did. So not a whole lot you could pick off on this base, so it's probably not the best strategy that I could have used. I wasn't sure what to do about that base. Let's see. Let's find a place where it worked better. So here's a good 94%er. Didn't quite get the 3. So let's look at this one. So I'll probably, I'll start picking off things there. You see he's got some upgraded defenses. I haven't quite hit that. I'm just starting to get to those probably today. But first you pick off those outside buildings, and then at some point in time it's time to make a push for the town hall. And so you're usually pretty good with a high level 2-star. I don't see too many 3-star raids, at least in my level, and I'm at like 1,200-ish trophies, probably a little bit less than that. I'd have to check. Ooh, there's a big scary spider. Ooh, let's do this. Oh, what was I doing? Sorry. Yeah, a lot of spiders these days in my house. Anyway, so you see, sort of picking off everything. I've expended 5 out of 12 archers just trying to pick buildings off, and that's to get my percentage up high. And now the other thing that does is it sort of clears the way. So I had no direct access to the town hall, but as soon as that army camp is gone, I can have archers directly target it. So once that building's down, dropping the giants, then dropping the rest of the archers, I didn't go directly for the town hall. It seems I elected to go for the defenses, which worked out rather well, I guess. But you saw the giants tanked while the archers took care of that Tesla and that cannon. And it takes forever to get through walls here. I need wall breakers, but I need wall breakers. But, yeah. Let's see if there's anything else intelligent. I usually like to stay away from this double cannon. At the moment, for these ground armies, that is the most brutal defense to take on. So if you try to take it on... Oh, I got so close to taking it out. If you try to take it on directly head-on with giants, I find more often than not the giants just don't make it. A swarm of barbarians might have a better chance. But you saw on that one, I went for the Builder's Hall, but I did it by ignoring the side that the double cannon was on. So here's a 3-star. What did I do here? So start off by picking off the outside edges. Now, the things with short range, of course, this stone dropping thing, I forget the crusher. The crusher is very short range. And the double cannon also has pretty short range. So these buildings outside of like this, the archers can do a good job of picking those off. And in this case, I dropped 3 or 4 archers right on that double cannon to rush it. And the archers are invincible at first, or yeah, I guess invincible is the right word. They don't take any damage, so you can pop that, you can take care of that thing pretty quick. And so with that thing gone, then I sent in the giants, and I've got archers behind it, try to take these things out. I don't have a very good super duper formulaic attack form for this. I just haven't been doing this as much as I've been doing regular war attacks and stuff like that. But was there a Tesla here? Yes, there was a Tesla. That was right there. Yes, so once you funnel with the archers, once you pick off the outside buildings to get your percentage up, then you can send them in and just sort of swarm the rest. Let's see if I can find some other examples here. Which one was that one? And so as you can see, when I lose 2, it's usually with the same army. So it was maybe not a good one for me. Let's see how you did this to me. So my base is designed to make people make an awful choice. You know there's bad stuff over here, but you know there's traps over here. So you're sort of, you can't go one way and you can't go the other without having to deal with the consequence of it. But this guy was able to just sort of rush everything in at once. He just flooded it with troops. And that was apparently just enough to get the push, to get the 3-star. He had several archers left over, actually. Oh, I'm also a jerk. I put these guys in the corner here. Nobody ever looks for these. So most people start off by just picking off buildings on the outside. Nobody ever looks in the corners. So I check the corners because I'm a little jerk that did that. So there's an example of a rush that worked. My base is maybe best if handled as a rush. Let's see. I wonder if there's another one. I'll just focus on these recent ones here. So this is a Town Hall, a Builders Hall 3 going on a Builders Hall 4, I think. Because he's got an extra set of defenses. But same strategy, just sort of try to pick off stuff from the outside, try to stay just at a range of that double cannon. And these archer towers have massive range too, so you got to really watch out for those. But not a whole lot that I could pick off here, because he's got the next layer of defenses. And am I going to do that or not? I think I'm going to try to max out Town Hall 3. I just have empirically observed that stronger defenses are better than numerous defenses, but I could be wrong on that. At any rate, I'm always used to maxing out Town Hall, so we'll just keep on doing that. Yeah, so in this case, I rushed that cannon, take it out. Then I can send the giants in directly on that wall. And then I can lament the fact that I don't have wall breakers. And now we've got a kind of a cluster of buildings here the archers can pick off. I dropped them a little bit too close to the archer tower, it seems, while the giants are tanking. And then I'm saving one just to see how things happen. I know you don't have that many archers, but if you save one to after the giants and the initial push is gone, you can be amazed at what you can do. So in this case, you can see with the giants and the archers, I have come and I have taken out most of those defenses. So one archer sort of in the rear can be out of the range of that Tesla and can pop off that builder's hut. But yeah, I mean, it's a simple formula. It seems to work. You just sort of pick off what's on the exterior. You pick a good spot of the base to come into. It's usually the side opposite that double cannon if you're not going to try for a 3-star. And I don't have hogs. I don't have balloons. I'm not... there's no foolproof way of getting 3-stars that I know of, at least not yet. Well, I guess there is no foolproof way, but there's no super consistent way of doing that I've come across just yet. But yeah, pick off the outside, send in the giants. This guy doesn't... Oh, there it is. There's the double cannon. Yeah, pick off the outside, send in the giants, usually the side opposite the... double cannon, unless you think you can rush it with archers and take it out right away. We'll see what I elected to do here, because you can't rush this one with archers because this guy's in the way. So you could either try to avoid it and come in on the side opposite that. Now, it looks like I might be making a push on this side over here. Oh, there come the Giants. They come to the top. The side opposite the double cannon. They're going to make a push to go in there. They're going to try to go for the town hall. Or they're not, but the archers behind them are going to try to make a push for the town hall once they finally bust through that darn fence. Yeah, the AI has been confusing me. What what troops do after you have taken out a building has kind of confused me. They go back and forth a lot. I'm not quite sure I understand what's going on. But anyway, as you can see, the short range on this guy, but the deadly power makes it something to just maybe try to avoid altogether. And I was able to successfully do that here. Get a high percentage 2-star, which is usually enough to get the win against Mini Wrath of the Doobie Bros. Gee, I wonder what that could be referencing. Anyway, well, it's not quite as intricate and interesting as a war attack, and you don't have as much time to plan. But it is what's working for me. It's what's working when... Ooh, I can attack now. But I don't have time. I got to get to work. It's what's used against me. It's what I'm using against people, and it seems to work really well. Just the steps are pick off the outside buildings, make a push for the town hall. If you can archer rush a double cannon, is that what that darn thing's called? Double cannon. If you can archer rush a double cannon, do it. Take that out. That's usually the biggest problem I have for these Town Hall 3 and Young Town Hall, Builder Hall 3 and Young Builder Hall 4 bases. If you can't do that, then it usually is the best thing to do is to send your Giants in on the side opposite of that double cannon with archers behind them. Let them take out some stuff. Let them tank while the archers sort of make a push for the town hall. Yeah, so pick it off on the outside. Take out the double cannon if you can. If you can't, come in opposite of that. Make a push with Giants and try to find a path to the town hall. And then you'll get yourself a high percentage 2-star. And normally, more often than not, at least at trophy level, where the heck am I at? 1,234 trophies. At least at that trophy level, I'm having some decent luck with that. And the people who are beating me are pretty much using my exact same strategy, except sometimes they're rushing. But anyway, they're just making a big push with the whole thing. All right, well, that wasn't nearly coordinated and thought out as well as I thought it would be, but I've talked for a good, decent amount of time, and there's not that many bases on attack there's not many YouTube videos on attack strategies, so I figured I'd at least throw that out there and let people have some food for thought. But we'll probably be at Town Hall 4 in a few days, and nobody's going to care anymore. Ha! Builders Hall 4. All right, I'm done talking. This is all crazy. Cray, 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 cray.